Y'all, it is one of those mornings. We're on the first coffee of a lot of coffees. Can I get an amen from somebody out there, y'all? But you want to hear something really cool? Just learned how to make a latte. That's right, barista Sadie Rob. I'm super stoked about it. But I actually really am really excited about this. If y'all don't know where I've been filming these videos, because I guess I've never said that, so I don't know how you know, unless you're stalking me. Please don't. That's weird. Okay, let's keep this cool, everybody. But this is actually my office. This is my office. My team is in the other room right now because I said, girls, I have to do my YouTube video. So all of them are over there and they are patiently waiting for me to give you guys this message. But the amazing... So I write this Instagram post and I say, this is to the one who is single, or the one that's getting out of a relationship that you thought was gonna last forever, or the one that's getting into a relationship that you're afraid it might not last forever, or just anyone in that stage that you're kind of afraid of never finding love, or brokenhearted because you think your love just left you. And I kind of just talk about how, I remember being in those stages in my life. And in those stages in my life, the times that I was single, the times that I had gotten out of relationships with the person that I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with, the time that I was starting relationships with people that I began to like but wasn't sure if it was going to last, or the times that I just felt discouraged because I was like, where is he? When is he coming? Who is he? Is he even going to come? Is he even out there? And all of these thoughts that began to make me anxious about the future, if I would ever have love, if I would ever find love. And so I wrote this Instagram post, but it really came from this deeper place of me being where I'm at now and thinking, man, I wish I would have known what I know now then. Although I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because not knowing what I know now, that I was going to marry this incredible man, that it was going to be the most perfect timing, that he was gonna make me better and make me stronger and all of these things, not knowing that led me to really finding what love really was and who love really is. And I think those are the times that I really found God the most. Actually, the other day I was in New York, and when I was there, I was with a friend who knew me years and years ago. Years and years, as if I'm so old. It was like 5 years ago. She knew me about 5 years ago, and she has just kind of seen my journey. She's seen the ups and the downs, and actually the time she met me was probably the most down ever. And I had just gotten out of a relationship. It was really just going through a hard time. And then she saw me this week, which happened to be my bachelorette trip. And she made a toast to me, and she made this toast to my future love and all of those things. And she kind of brought the past up a little bit, only to say, look what God has done. Look how he has been faithful. Look what he's provided. And I just stopped to think, wow, like God, I forgot about all those days that I cried. I forgot about all those days that I was afraid, because now with my man here, I forgot how much I sought you, because in the midst of all that, from the time I cried to the time that I rejoiced in getting engaged, you met me before I even met Christian. And so I was so satisfied in you that I kind of forgot that feeling that she reminded me of. But I was glad she reminded me of it, because I want to go back to that feeling for just a second to relate to you guys and to encourage you that before you ever meet the man that you're going to marry, before you ever meet the woman that you're going to marry, the girl that you're going to date, the guy that you're going to date, I want to encourage you before that moment. It is so important that before you go looking for love anywhere, that you find love first in God. 1 John chapter 4, verse 7, it says, "Beloved, let us love one another, for love is from God. And whoever loves has been born of God and knows God." So listen to that. Whoever loves knows God. Anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love. And I wanted to read that to y'all because I think that's what happened for me. The truth is, I met God before I met Christian. Therefore, I met love and fell into love before I ever met Christian and was able to fall in love with Christian. And I love the timeline of that, because in the midst of going from like heartbreak, I was able to find love for myself from God, the creator of all, whose love is never failing. And with that love, I became confident. The brokenness of the past was restored. The sins of the past were redeemed. The fears and the anxiety of the future was all of a sudden settled, and I was so content with who my God is in this moment that by the time I met Christian, I wasn't hurting anymore. I wasn't afraid anymore. I wasn't sad anymore. I wasn't carrying all this, anxiety, all this fear, all this bondage, all this brokenness into this next relationship. No, what I was able to carry into this next relationship with the man that I was going to marry was the love that I received from God. And so now I am not perfect in any means, neither is Christian, but we are able to both, because we knew love before we knew each other, take love and give it to one another. Not give each other all this heartache, all this brokenness, all these painful things. We're just not taking all that from the past. We're able to start with when we started with God and started with love and bring that into each other, because we know God, we know love, and because we know love and we know God, we know who we are enough to give love to each other in a very pure and sweet way. And so I encourage you with that, because the reality is not everyone who is listening to this is in a relationship. And a lot of you might be sad about that. You might be craving that. You might be wanting that. But don't take lightly the season that you're in before you meet the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, because in this time you can prepare for that person by preparing your heart to even have the capacity to receive love. Because if you don't know love from God, you won't even receive love from the world, because you won't know how. Those insecurities won't let you. Those fears won't let you. But when you know perfect love, like our Bible says, it casts out all fears. And so I just encourage you, get to know that love in this time. And maybe you are in a relationship, and maybe you're like, you know what, Sadie, I wish that I was saying the things that you were saying, because I am in a relationship, but I don't feel that way. I don't feel confident. I don't feel even that I'm fully known, that I'm fully loved. I don't feel joyful. I don't feel the effects that I thought love was going to have. And I want to encourage you that in the midst of this relationship, still seek love first from God. Whatever you have to do to seek love first from God, I encourage you to do, because only are you going to be content. Only are you going to be satisfied with the love of God, not love from anybody in this world, because nobody's love in this world is going to be perfect. It's going to fail. It's going to fall. We're human, but God's love is perfect. He is perfect love. He is always kind. He is always loving. He does not keep records of wrong. He rejoices in the truth of your life. He delights in you, and his love will not fail. Those are some of the characteristics that it talks about that perfect love in 1 Corinthians 13. And so I just want to encourage, I guess this is really for everybody, that before you try to find love in the world, find love in God, because this worldly love will not satisfy your soul like the love of God. And if you find that love from God, you'll actually be able to give the world a love that this world has never seen, that actually does free you from fears, that frees you from insecurities, that frees you from bondage, that doesn't keep record of your wrong. And I think that the world would look like such a healthier place if we stopped searching for love so desperately around us and search for the love that God has already put within us and about us.